Calyn. Today I'm going to be reading this story and writing it down on paper. What happened? So I already did a Friday one. I already did one for Friday. And I'm going to read it to you because I did not do it on video. So what it says 4 kids named Melody, Howie, Liza, and Eddie like to watch kids on snowboards. But this time they weren't watching kids. They were watching a grown-up. So Saturday, so now 10 through 20, and I have enough pages in this book, 64 pages. So through 20, this is going to be Saturday. So now I'm going to read the next section. It's about time we went home, Melody said. It looks like he's been here all day. Howie nodded. There's so much snow on him, he looks like a snowman, he said. I'm sorry you didn't get to talk to him, Liza said and patted Eddie on the back. Eddie pulled away from his friends. Maybe it's not too late. I can still catch him, he cried. Wait, Melody called. But Eddie never liked to wait. Eddie took off as fast as he could, but he forgot one thing, the snow. His boot slipped. Ah! He screamed. He teared. He tottered. His feet went one way, swoosh, the rest of him went the other way. Wham! Eddie landed on his back and slid down the hill. Help! Eddie screamed. Down, down, down. Eddie rolled. By the time he reached the bottom of the hill, snow covered the top of his head. Snow stuck to his mittens, coat, and boots. Eddie's friend sledded down the hill to join him. Eddie, you look like a snowman, Liza told him. More like an automobile snowman, Melody said with a giggle. Or a snow monster, Howie added. Very funny, Eddie shivered. You're freezing, Liza said as she helped him up. We needed to warm you up fast. I know just the thing, Eddie said. Hot chocolate. Great idea, said Liza. Let's see if your grandmother will take us to Burger Doodle. I need chocolate, Eddie said to his grandma as he opened the door to her van. Hot chocolate and fast. He plopped onto the back seat. Melody, Liza, and Howie stumbled in after their friend. Snow dripped off Eddie's nose, hair, and mittens. Eddie doesn't look like a snow monster now, Liza said. Melody shook her head. He looks like a drowned rat, his friends giggled as Eddie's grandmother headed down the street to Burger Doodle. As soon as they pulled into a parking space, Eddie was out of the seat. He crawled over Howie and out the door of the van. His 3 friends hurried to catch up. Hot chocolate, Eddie chanted. Must have hot chocolate. Must have hot chocolate. Eddie ran straight to the door without watching where he was going. Bam! He slammed into something big, tall, and snowy. white. This is the last page. It's called Harry Snowden. Eddie looked up into the face of the snowboarder from the hill. He had a face as pale as a snowflake. His jacket and snow pants were as white as the clouds in the sky. Icicles still hung from his hair. There was even a puddle of melting ice by his furry white boots. So now I'm back with Sundays. So I'm going to read both of the summaries that I had done. Friday. 4 kids named Melody, Howie, Liza, and Eddie liked to watch kids on snowboards, but this time they weren't watching kids. They were watching a grown-up. Eddie fell down a hill and got covered in snow. They all went to get hot chocolate at a coffee place, and Eddie ran into the snow monster they saw snowboarding. Forgot to write Eddie in there, so now we're going to read the next section till page 30. Okay. The snowboarder reached out to keep Eddie from slipping. Eddie noticed the man's body felt like a solid block of ice. "Careful," the man said. "Ice can be slippery." "I hate ice," Eddie snapped. The man took a step back. "Hate ice?" he said. "How can anyone hate ice? Hating ice is like saying you hate Christmas and Valentine's Day or candy and cookies." Eddie opened his mouth to argue. Before he could say anything, Eddie's grandmother and his friends caught up to him. "How do you do?" Eddie's grandmother said. "I hope my grandson wasn't bothering you." "Of course not," the man said. "My name is Harry Snowden," he said, reaching out to shake Eddie's grandmother's hand. "Oh my," Eddie's grandmother said. "You're as cold as your name." "I love the cold," Harry told them. "This is the kind of weather I live for." Howie took a step back. Harry Snowden's breath left clouds in the air between them. "Well, it was nice meeting you," Eddie's grandmother said. "Come on, kids, let's go inside and have some hot chocolate." "Now you're talking," Eddie said. "I've never had hot chocolate, but I do love cold shakes," Harry said. "It's hot chocolate. Good." "It's great," Eddie yelled. Howie took a close look at Harry as heavy snow started falling over Burgerdoodle. He said to himself, but his friends had already followed Eddie inside. Howie's thoughts floated away and were lost in the falling snow. Chapter 4, Splash. "Here are our drinks," Eddie's grandmother said. The 5 of them sipped their hot chocolate without talking. Howie held his warm cup, but he kept looking over the steam at Harry. Harry sat by himself. In fact, all the seats around Harry were empty. When a waiter walked by, Howie saw that he shivered. Howie tapped his chin. He scratched his head. He thought and thought and thought some more. Something about Harry Snowden bothered Howie. Something bothered him a lot. Eddie wasn't looking at Harry. Eddie was looking at the marshmallows floating at the top of Howie's hot chocolates. "If you're not going to drink that, can I have those marshmallows?" Eddie asked without waiting for an answer. Eddie reached for Howie's mug. Splash! Howie's cup tipped over. Hot chocolate spilled onto the table. Liza grabbed the mug just in time to save some of Howie's drink. Whoops! Oops, Eddie said. Sorry. Eddie's grandmother frowned. I'm going to get napkins to clean up this mess. You behave while I'm gone, she said while looking directly at Eddie. Eddie groaned. He didn't like to behave, just as he didn't like to wait. Last page. Howie didn't care about his hot chocolate. He was still busy watching Harry Snowden. He took a sip from his mug and then gasped. What's wrong? Liza asked. Did the hot chocolate burn your tongue? Melody asked. No, but I have something crazy to tell you, Howie said. So, now I'm going to read all 3 summaries that I have done by reading 30 pages, only 30 pages of this book for each day. This is Friday. I'm not going to say Saturday and Sunday while I'm reading. I'm just going to say this is Friday. When I pause, like for maybe 5 seconds, I'm going to go to the next one. Then pause for maybe 5 seconds. Go to the next one. Then I'm going to talk to you guys for a second. Friday. 4 kids named Melody, Howie, Liza, and Eddie liked to watch kids on snowboards. But this time they weren't watching kids. They were watching a grown-up. Saturday. Whoops. It's okay. Saturday. Eddie fell down a hill and got covered in snow. They all went to get hot chocolate at a coffee place, and Eddie ran into the snow monster they saw snowboarding. Sunday. Harry Snowden was the snow monster's name. Howie was sad because Harry had never tasted hot chocolate before. All he drank was cold shakes. Cold shakes, not cold. So, I would like to get this video maybe to 20,000 or 10,000 in the first day to say that you like this video. If not, please get it to at least 5,000. Subscribe, click that notification bell, and